This is Musings and Counsel from London Baker Law with Debbie London Baker.
Let's shift gears a little bit. Let's talk about Medicaid. I've heard about Medicaid, don't know much about it. Can you explain the difference between Medicaid and what it is compared to Medicare?
Well, Medicare is a national program. So once somebody reaches there are other ways to get on Medicare, but generally speaking, once somebody reaches the age of 65, they can start being, getting their doctors through Medicare, having Medicare pay their doctors and things like that.
So that's a federal plan.
That's a federal program. Medicaid is state specific. And in Florida, there's been Governor DeSantis, I think, or maybe it was Governor Scott before, didn't want to expand Medicaid availability, to have the enrollment enlarged for who it covered. So there were a lot of children who had no insurance because they weren't Medicaid eligible. So Medicaid is a process for which you apply state by state. I've had a client say, well, if I get Medicaid qualified in Florida, will that work if I move to Indiana? And no. There's no guarantee. It might, but you'd have to go through the process again. So Medicaid is something you apply for when you have no assets, or you can move your assets around very legally so that you can apply for the government assistance, which will do long-term care. It'll do nursing home care. It will provide, at least in Florida, it will provide in-home, like not nurses' aides, but in-home support for like what they call the activities of daily living, eating, what they call toileting, transferring, which is can you get out of a chair and get onto another chair, brushing your teeth, that kind of thing. So it's a process. It's expensive people can do it by themselves. It's generally best if somebody can afford it to hire an attorney to do it because they'll do it faster and more efficiently. So right now, I've got a client whose wife is blind and diabetic, and we got her qualified for Medicaid, which kicks in tomorrow for all her services. And meanwhile, she's had an attack of gout, and she's had some surgery, and she's in the hospital, and she's not doing well. And Medicaid will start paying those expenses tomorrow. Without that, he's all out of pocket, and they are not super wealthy people. So we got her qualified just in time because we're not even sure, in her confusion at this point, whether she'd have capacity, the mental acuity, to be able to sign an agreement or agree to anything that was being discussed with her. So Medicaid is something that generally people over 60 or 65 should talk to an elder law attorney to see if they're in a position now to do anything, or to let somebody be aware of kind of what their health situation is and what their assets are, and just check in every once in a while to see if they want to move forward with getting things in place in the event they need government assistance in that arena.
Gotcha. Yeah, it can be very confusing, and I know Medicare has layers and layers on it in terms of different plans and of course prescription deals and all this stuff. I think it's really important to have somebody that can help you walk through that.
This has been Musings and Counsel from London Baker Law. Learn more at londonbakerlaw.com. Thanks for listening.